Hello, everybody. David Shuster here. Donald Trump is facing a new wave of ridicule and criticism for his handling of the Jeffrey Epstein scandal. Amidst a bipartisan House attempt to force the release of all the Epstein investigation files, the Trump White House called the vote a hostile act. At a House Judiciary Committee hearing, Democrat Jasmine Crockett described the Trump response as shocking.
It's the president who literally said he would look at anyone who decided that they were going to vote to release the Epstein files as hostile. That sounds like a threat as it relates to all First Amendment protections, in addition to the fact that it's literally contravening our constitutional duty that we swore an oath to, because we don't swear to an orange king. Instead, we have sworn an oath to the Constitution, and we were elected to represent the people that elected us.
Most people, according to public polling, want the Epstein files to be released in their entirety. And on a day when dozens of Epstein victims held a news conference on Capitol Hill, Donald Trump spoke out in the Oval Office and said everybody should just move on and that the scandal is a bipartisan fabrication.
So this is a Democrat hoax that never ends. You know, it reminds me a little of the Kennedy situation. We gave him everything over and over again, more and more and more, and nobody's ever satisfied. From what I understand, I could check, but from what I understand, thousands of pages of documents have been given. But it's really a Democrat hoax because they're trying to get people to talk about something that's totally irrelevant to the success that we've had as a nation since I've been president.
What successes? Well, Trump talks about the economy, even though it's slowing and consumer prices are rising. Trump says he has ended several wars, even though the Gaza conflict is still raging, as is the Russia-Ukraine war, which Trump promised to end on day one. Trump points to drug interdiction and is now getting slammed for literally bombing and murdering 11 people on a boat in international waters. And regarding Trump's claim that the Epstein scandal is a hoax, Fox host Jessica Tarlov noted on social media, quote, more than 10 survivors today, some Republicans today. Minutes later, Trump repeats this horrible lie that even some of his supporters don't believe. One of those Trump supporters who rejects the Trump claim that the scandal is a hoax is House Republican Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia. She just signed on to the discharge petition that would force a House vote on releasing the files.
And this isn't a hostile act towards the administration. The hostile act has been against these women for so many years now. The hostile act is covering up for Jeffrey Epstein and everyone else that's been involved in this. And that's the real hostile act. I look forward to talking with President Trump about these women that I've met. I also encouraged him already this morning that he should have these women in the Oval Office. They deserve to be there.
You spoke to him?
Yes, I did. Yeah. And I told him I'd be happy to set that up, arranging with their attorney by sharing his phone number.
What was his reaction to that?
I haven't got an answer back on that, but I am continuing to encourage him that these are the people that deserve to be in the Oval Office, not any of Jeffrey Epstein's rich, powerful friends.
Yes, Marjorie Taylor Greene suggested to Trump that he bring the Epstein victims into the Oval Office instead of, as she said, Jeffrey Epstein's rich, powerful friends. I have a feeling that Donald Trump is not going to take up Greene on that offer. Trump is clearly doing everything he can to distract from the Epstein scandal and get Americans to talk about other things. So renewing the focus on the Epstein case is probably a non-starter. And Greene knows that, which makes her public declarations and suggestions to Trump even more biting. And never mind Greene speaking out on Capitol Hill, she also went on the Eric Bolling podcast show and slammed a White House official for disparaging her and other lawmakers pushing for a vote.
Well, that coward attacked me and attacked anybody else and called it a hostile act. The hostile act was Jeffrey Epstein raping 14-year-old girls. That was the hostile act, and it's not a hoax. And Eric, I'll tell you what, I hope people at home light up their phone lines. I hope they call them out on social media. I hope they show up at their district's offices. And I really hope that they push my colleagues to do the right thing.
The right thing, says Greene, a few other Republican lawmakers, and countless Democrats, is a vote on releasing all the Epstein files. That move is literally causing Donald Trump and his top White House lieutenants to erupt, because this story, the Epstein abuse, has not disappeared. And it's the one controversy since Donald Trump became president again in January that has stuck to him. And it's probably not going away. After all, there is literally nothing on Capitol Hill that ever unites Republican House member Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia and Democratic House member Jasmine Crockett of Texas. They literally despise each other politically and personally. But even Greene and Crockett are united in demanding the Trump administration release the Epstein files. And until that happens, by most accounts, the controversy and the criticism of Donald Trump will keep going. By the way, Donald Trump just got publicly betrayed by a member of the Federal Reserve who until now had been Trump's frontrunner to become Fed chair.
I do see slower growth through the year, mainly because of the tariff impacts. I mean, tariffs are a tax. Taxes are never typically good for growth. So, you're going to get some slow growth out of this.
Check out that video at the link below. I'm David Shuster. Thanks for joining us.